Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to cover the power rankings. We haven't put one of these out in almost a month. Before first stand we did it, and now we're on to patch 15.7, so I guess you can take this as the 15.5 and 15.6 updates. This is 100% based off of stats. I look at each patch individually and try and update these rankings based on team stats. If you watched my videos over the last week where I, previewed the regions, going into spring, that TR, team ranking column, was based off of this. I have updated and tweaked that algorithm a bit more. I continue to work on it. So we have major regions. This is China and Korea. They are the dominant regions. It's not a shock to say that. The minor regions are APAC, America, and Europe. Over here we have the Discord, which I consider more of a community power rankings. We have 12 participants, which is nice in this edition of the, unfortunately, 12 is nice. We have hundreds of people in Discord. Wish it we had a little bit more participation. So the stats we use to determine these power rankings are win rate, which is nice. I added a category called tier. It's essentially, taking the playoff teams and giving them a boost, giving the teams that went to first stand a boost relative to others. Kill-death ratio, goal difference per minute, kill-death difference, tower taken difference, fear of strength, Jesus Christ, feat of strength percentage, Drake percentage, Herald percentage, Baron percentage. These things, you would think individually, yeah, it's good. Good teams get Barons, good teams get Drakes, good teams get Heralds. Good teams get kills and don't die, right? We get gold. That's a good thing. So if your team is not ranked highly, evidently, some of these categories, they're not doing well in. And you have to think, well, those are things good teams do. So most people look at win rate and don't care about the rest. But that is what it is. So major regions, everyone's played. China and Korea, they've all started playing their games. Damn microphone blocking the board that I have with all this shit on it. So IG are first right now, which you'd be surprised. But what about HLE? They just won first stand. Well, there have been a lot of games in the LPL since then, and IG are a good team. They beat JDG twice, LNG twice, and LGD, which we see on here, what? LNG are in the tank, but LGD is a solid squad, 19th or so, and we have JDG in 11th. Anyone's Legend beat Thundertalk twice, beat Ultra Prime twice, split with RNG. Big surprise there, splitting with RNG. Of course, RNG still in the doghouse. Niket has only made that team a tiny bit better. HLE in third. They won first stand. I mean, hell, they've won on a run. They just lost to Gen G this week, returning to Korea. But prior to that, beat CFO 2-0, KC 2-1, Team Liquid 2-1, KC again 3-1 in the finals, Top Esports 2-0 and 3-0. So they went on a serious run there. Statistically, very strong at that event. They did lose to Gen G, though, and they beat KT 2-1 this morning. BLG beat EDG twice. Team World Elite twice, split with Weibo, who we see in 6th. Gen G beat HLE 2-0. Weibo in 6th. Beat EDG twice. Team World Elite twice, split with BLG. 7th, NIP beat OMG twice, split with FPX, lost to Top Esports twice, NIP falling off a bit after they were ranked first going into first stand because of their stats. They had a great winter but have started spring off struggling. Nongshim beat Bro 2-0, D Plus beat BFX 2-1 in Korea. Top Esports dropped to 10th. They had a very lackluster first stand. Definitely disappointing. So they beat FPX twice, OMG twice, NIP twice, returning to the LPL, continuing their domestic dominance. But internationally only beat Team Liquid 2-0, which is a minor region team by comparison at first stand. They lost to HLE 2-0 and 3-0, CFO 2-0, and KC 2-0. After Top Esports, we have JDG. JDG beat LGD twice, LNG twice, lost both games to IG. T1 beat DRX 2-0 with Guma back in the lineup, going deathless. T1, I expect to rise up the rankings once again. Thundertalk beat RNG twice, split with Ultra Prime, lost to Anyone's Legend twice, but did move on to the upper group in the LPL. Ultra Prime, on the other hand, did not get there. They beat RNG twice, Thunder Talk once, and Team Wii once. However, in the end, losing to Anyone's Legend twice and RNG once threw them in. And well, actually, sorry, losing to LNG. Oh, God, it's like it just like makes you want to throw up just not being able to fucking read this board that I wrote. So Ultra Prime, Anyone's Legend twice, RNG, Thunder Talk, but lost to FPX 2-0 and Team Wii 2-1 in the end. So they don't move on. KT lost to HLE 2-1. Bro lost to Nongshim 2-0. EDG, I mean, they beat Team Wii, but then lost to them twice. Lost to BLG and Weibo twice. So EDG are 17th, but really, I think a lot of people are probably surprised that they are that high on the board. Because they're ranked above FPX, despite FPX finding a way to move on to the higher group. FPX beat NIP, OMG, LGD, beat Ultra Prime 2-1, lost to Top Esports both times, and like I said, split with NIP and OMG. DRX beat DNF 2-0 earlier in the week, lost to T1. D Plus beat BFX, so BFX are in 21st. You'd like that team to get a little bit better with Diable and Kellen in the bot lane. World Elite, EDG twice, LGD 2-0, Ultra Prime 2-1, but lost to BLG twice, Weibo twice, Up, and EDG. So we're getting to the bottom here of these major region teams. I mean, these guys are struggling. Like Team We were able to find a way to get out of surprisingly, get to the upper half, but that's the monkey difference, I guess. But it kind of goes to show you, though, just how terrible they were in winter, that they're still 22nd based on team stats, that they're still digging themselves out of the hole in those ratios, etc. OMG split with FPX, lost to NIP and Top Esports. DNF left to DRX. RNG split with AL and beat Ultra Prime once, but Ultra Prime would beat them in the tiebreaker, and then lost to Thunder Talk twice and Anyone's Legend. LNG are just that team this year. LNG are ranked 26th. They have decent players on the roster. They have made another change. Tomorrow I'm probably going to make an official roster moves video because LNG have signed LP to be their AD carry, and I believe also have called up a jungler, but I might not mention that in tomorrow's video. I don't know yet. LNG losing to JDG, IG, and LGD twice each. They're in a tough spot. In terms of minor region, CFO are by themselves in the top. And you're saying, but KC beat them in a best of 5. They also beat KC already. So, technically, at first stand, CFO won more games than KC did between the two. That is what it is. They beat KC, Team Liquid, and Top Esports 2-0 each. So they beat a major region team 2-0 as well. Losing to HLE 2-0, KC 3-2. So CFO come out very positive in the win-loss ratio when it comes to this period of time. The only region that has played of APAC, AM, and EU are EU. They started last week. So after we talk about CFO, we have Fnatic. Fnatic are 4th still, despite losing SK 2-0. Over the whole entire season thus far, they've done pretty damn well. You'd like them to do better, of course. They didn't represent Europe at first stand, but they're doing the right things. And in the end, so the playoff patch is not the same patch as the one that happened to start the season, etc. The game changes. So just because one team does well on one patch does not make them better on all the patches. And in this power rankings, I'm trying to make it so that it encompasses the entirety of the season. It encompasses the entirety of the meta to really determine who the best teams were of the year. Koi lost to G2 and KC 2-1 each. G2 beat Koi 2-1. BDS beat Rogue 2-1. So we're getting down into 11th place now. Team Liquid in 13th in North America. All they did was beat KC at first stand. They still lost to CFO 2-0, Top Esports 2-0, and HLE 2-1, and did not move on. They finished last in that tournament. KC, so they got to finals against HLE. They beat Koi 2-1, Top Esports 2-0, and CFO 3-2. However, they still lost to Team Liquid 2-1, CFO 2-0, HLE 2-1, and HLE 3-2. or 3-1. It's irrelevant. Vitality beat Giant X 2-0. Giant X did lose to Fnatic. Vitality 2-0. So Giant X, definitely a weird, puzzling situation too. Isma, let's take Isma out of it. The fact that they have Jackie's, Noah, and June, 3 players that I'd consider to be top 3 in their roles in the region, for this team to do this bad is just really, really fucking confusing. Team Heretics and SK both won. Heretics beat Rogue 2-0. SK upset Fnatic 2-0. Rogue down in, 30th place amongst the minor region teams. Lost to BDS 2-1 and Heretics 2-0. We look at the Discord. This is usually what community sentiment is. HLE being first is no surprise. I know some people do not update their power rankings. I put the thread up. They put it up and then they set it and forget it. And I'd prefer just not even any involvement at that point. But HLE, Gen G, these teams obviously are good, right? We look at this and we say to ourselves, those top 8 teams could win Worlds. D+ is pushing it. Of the 8 teams, D+ is pushing it. Siwoo and Lucid have a very bright career ahead of them. But maybe they're not quite at the level of the other 7 up there. But regardless, those 8 teams, but top esports never does anything internationally. The players are capable of winning Worlds. I'm not going to pretend that they're not capable. Jackie Love might have an issue. That might be the case. But otherwise, those teams are really good. KC 9th. That's usually where the top Western team usually sits. It's not a big shock. I could see KC there or CFO. We see CFO in 11th. That makes sense. The top 18 all had 12 votes each, which means they were represented on everybody's top 25. It was C9 who was represented on 11 of 12 ballots in 19th. Fnatic and 100 Thieves 10 and 12. Koi 9 and 12. Vikings 8 and 12 and 23rd. And then KT and Thunder Talk were on 7 ballots apiece. Other teams that received votes: DRX, GAM, RNG, SK, LGD, Team Secret, Wales, IE, Bro, and BDS. So, these power rankings, like I said, are based on stats. They're based on win rate, kill-death ratio, gold difference per minute, kill-death difference, turret taken difference, feat of strength percentage, Drake percentage, Herald percentage, Baron percentage. All these things matter to determine who the best team is. You look at analytics in a pro sport. You probably look at football and say whoever has the ball more is probably the better team. But then again, what do they do with the ball? Do they get shots with the ball? Are they are they cross midfield with the ball? Are they taking, a lot of yellow cards? Are they taking a lot of offsides? Are they screwing up? This, that, and the third. This sort of stuff matters. And then you look at, this team won, this team lost. It's like, okay, let's look at the grand scheme. Let's drag this out. Let's see what we can maybe predict in the future. Is our team's going to get better? I like to think the teams at the top of these power rankings are the teams that are doing the right things. And win rate only taking a part of that thought process at the moment. Of course, at Worlds, win rate is going to be all that matters. And going into it, we're going to say these are the teams that have done well this season, but we have changed the rules once again. The rules changed yesterday. 2 days ago on Wednesday. We're on patch 15.7, 25.07, whatever the fuck you want to call it this time around. The point is, we have changed the rules. The jungle role has 6 or 7 champions changed. You say, those don't matter, this and that. There's going to be a difference in champion selection, and some teams and players are better on certain champions and playing around certain champions than others, and things change. Itemization changes. Maybe even down to turret changes, etc. The game changes every 2 weeks, and not every team is going to be the best on every patch. So we try and take, the entirety of the season, the entirety of the season, in my opinion, to try and determine who the best team was of the year, regardless of what they won or lost. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.